So as you can see, I'm doing some Castle Crashers on the channel once again for a couple of reasons. One, the update. A lot of art pieces to the game got a huge overhaul, as you all may know. I've already kind of covered this briefly when I went over the details of the master save. Now, as to whether or not that is working for people depending on DLC, if it doesn't, I'm sorry, I don't control that. And someone was asking for a tutorial on that, so I'll go ahead and walk you through it right now. It's really, really easy to find your save data, so this is what you're going to want to do. And let me make sure it's actually recording my desktop here. Hang on. Alright, there we go. So, whatever drive you have Steam installed on, you're going to want to first go there. Program 86, Steam, user data. And then it would be the folder number pertaining to the game. So let me double check which one that is. So let me actually go to Steam here. See. In case you're wanting to know, where that number is going to be. That's actually not it. Hang on. Let me go back to properties. Let's see, installed files. Get Google. Dual 4360. Okay. Now getting back to what I was doing, that's going to be this folder, and then remote. And this is for the save data for my custom character, which is, of course, where you can create and make your own character with their own save data and stuff. So don't worry about that. Anyway, this is what you really care about. The save data here. Pretty sure this is just a backup. But anyway, this is where you're going to want to stick those files if you care about the master save. But getting back to the game, just move that again. Close that. Alright, good. So, long-winded intro out of the way. I've already done a test playthrough on my character, getting her to level 99, and just to show I'm not fucking around. Slot 1, level 99. There you go, proof. Anyway, she's using dark magic. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Now, there are a couple things I could recommend doing before you even get started with the game. And I'm going to go over those really, really briefly. This is mainly to help out my buddy Gearfox and any new players who are trying to get into the game. Now, I do not claim to be an expert in this game, but I will say that I have been playing it since it ever came out, when I was still like a junior in high school, so... let's see, that is almost 16 years ago now? Not sure. 16, 17, it's a number, I'll just say that, whatever. So let me go back here real quick. Okay. And sorry to do this, I'm just going to show off this really quick. I forgot to do that. So this is what I recommend doing to make spamming arrows a lot easier. And yes, I'm going to be maxing out speed first. I'll get into reasons why as I go along. But this is what I highly recommend doing, even if you're just starting out Castle Crashers. So let's say that you want to be able to swap items while airborne, while you're like trying to stay safe, when you're like trying to fly and stuff, and we'll get to flying when we get to it. And even like trying to switch items like during juggling, so you don't make it when it's set to turbos, you need to set it to like a certain amount of milliseconds so that you can either just, do it one at a time manually, or you can hold it and it'll cycle through your items, at a reasonable pace, where you can easily stop and land on one. But getting to the point, this is what I recommend doing for your arrow firing button. It's also going to help with spamming ground magic. But you will need to be careful, because you can easily burn through your pots and even your bombs, which is why I'm going to get into setting another shortcut. But anyway, so for me, it's circle, which is use item. In Steam here, you go to settings. But on turbo, put the repeat rate as low as it will go, at 10. Trust me on that, just do that. It's going to be so helpful. And then on your R1 and L1, or RB and LB, you're going to want to put a turbo like this. Set it to 400 milliseconds. That's going to help you with cycling through items at a reasonable, rate without skipping over items too quickly. So that out of the way. And then if you want just a regular single press use item, you can easily set that. And how I did that was I went to right joystick behavior. I changed it to left analog, and I changed it to R3 click. So I can just do like a single use item. I can still like strafe in the air with the boomerang, which I will demonstrate. Yeah, control stuff out of the way. Let's get on with the actual walkthrough part. Let me just minimize this. Okay, there we go. So, brand new file, basically. And a huge thank you to my buddy Gearfox, who actually did this commission for me. Some things weren't made clear in the Paint PNG that you can edit. So he unfortunately had to, like, do a once-over and make a lot of adjustments. So something I will point out here is just the way that this game handles shapes. You might notice something poking out behind Rain's head here. And that is actually supposed to be like a shoulder pad to Super Baby 2's outfit. Because it's weird, in Castle Crashers they have arms, but they don't exactly have shoulders or necks. So that's why it's kind of looking like that. Anyway, the body does look good. And that's not Gear's fault, because what the game does is it kind of makes the head and the body too close to each other. And getting the obvious things out of the way, yes, Super Janemba's sword from Fusion Reborn, and for the shield, it's Super Baby 2's Revenge Death Ball. And I think it turned out seriously awesome. But look how smooth the idle animation even is. He did really good with like the shading and dynamic lighting going on. But getting on with the game proper, and Dark Magic, because I just felt that it matched the Revenge Death Ball best, so that's why I went with it. Now, immediately you're not going to be able to go to the Castle Keep. So the Castle Keep or Blacksmith, I forget what it's called on the map, but anyway, I'll point it out when we're able to roam the map proper. We're kind of locked into doing this to start out with. Let me see something here too. Okay, so by default, you're always going to have the pencil, which on paper is the best weapon in the game, and it's level 1. Now, I say on paper because it has 11 additional stats for your character with 0 downsides. That's the highest of any weapon. Now, reason it's not great is because what I'm doing here with melee, which is the most important stat, does the most DPS. They may have caught me earlier saying I'll be maxing out agility first. So if melee's so important, why am I not touching strength? Well, that's because you level in this game based off the number of hits that you're doing, not the amount of damage that you're dealing. So really, you're shooting yourself in the foot on leveling at a very comfortable pace going through the game. You're going to be too far and too low of a level by the time you have quite a bunch of points into strength. And then you're going to be wondering what the hell's going on. Well, you shouldn't have touched strength at all. In fact, I heavily recommend not putting a single damn point into it until you get to 99. Now, don't worry, there is a map where you can easily get to 99, which I will be pointing out when we get to it, but not now. And anyway, this combo I'm doing right here, learn this. It is single-handedly the most important combo in the game to learn. It's jump in the air, and then light, light, heavy, heavy, at like a rhythmic pace, and repeat. You can do it infinitely on lightweight enemies. There are lightweight enemies, there are medium weight enemies, and there are heavyweight enemies. And there are different juggles for each one. And for the sake of getting a move on, for the purpose of the playthrough, I'm not going to be trying to max out Rain's level. I'll at least get some really good levels in using the giraffe, which increases the rate at which you level up. And don't worry, I will point out where to get that, and other things like the bow and arrow and the boomerang. Because you do have to actually find those, but it's really easy to find the bow and arrow. Like the first thief you kill, you should get a bow and arrow. And then it's unlocked for every single character. Same thing with the boomerang. When you get the boomerang, it's unlocked for every single character, so you don't have to worry about getting it again. And now that we're on the map, so why max out agility first? Well, for a number of reasons. One, it makes you a lot faster, and therefore level traversal is much faster as a result. It makes it very easy to avoid oncoming hazards, or just getting hit in general. You can pretty much spam it at max level with turbo on. You're going to plow through enemies very easily. Anything that's not like a lightweight juggle where you can easily get EXP, or even medium weights, that's where I draw the line. Like heavyweights, I'm firing arrows and getting a move on. Or anything else like that. Now, unfortunately, on your first playthrough on normal, you're not going to find Giraffe right away. But I'm going to grab him anyway just to get some early levels in. And I will point out where to find him. You're going to need a shovel in order to find him. He's somewhere in the desert. And it'll be a marked X. Now, not every dig spot in the game is marked. You'll need a special animal buddy for that, actually. To find the unmarked ones. And the one that's going to find those for you is the Husky here. This guy. I think it's Pazzo. Let me double check. I might be mixing him up with the other dog. That dog. What's this guy's name? Yep, Pazzo, I was right. Who's the Rottweiler? Okay, Buddy is the Rottie. But anyway, grabbing Giraffe again. Alright, I'm gonna exit the map. Alright, so I always do that first thing whenever I'm starting a new character and getting them to max level. Or just in general. And, like, anytime there are light mobs or even medium mobs, I'm doing the juggles for them. The medium weight juggle's a bit different. I'll go over it. You know, when it comes up. That's not going to be for a bit. And I'm probably going to do this in parts just because, well, I'm only staying up right now until the animal hospital opens. I gotta order my more wet food, and then I'm probably going to knock out after that. So that's just going to be in parts. I actually just got off work. I have to work later again tonight, so I want to make sure I'm getting enough sleep, etc. So this is where you run into, it's either in this part, or the entrance that's before the Thief's Forest, where you get the bow and arrow. But it should be from the first thief that you kill that you get the bow and arrow. And the boomerang is a bit more hidden. You need an animal orb in order to get that one specifically. But I'll point out which one it is when we get to it. It's actually Cardinal at the Industrial Castle. We'll see him later. And you're supposed to go back to the Thief's Forest. He'll get you the boomerang in like the first bush. And I'll be sure to point out that bush. Like, I'll be pointing all this shit out for you. And worst case scenario, if you miss anything, guides are your best friend. And I would recommend looking at those. because there's a lot of useful information on that, on the wiki. You know, where to unlock characters, where to get their weapons, etc. And most of the time, it's easiest to get a character's weapon by just unlocking the character straight out. Now, there are unique weapons that you won't be able to obtain through characters only. You will need to find other weapons throughout the game. They're really, really easy to find, though, especially if you have Pazzo and the Cardinal. Like, they'll be able to get you most of what you're looking for. But on the likely chance you're missing anything, you can try farming weapons with Monkey Face. I wouldn't recommend it. That's going to take longer, I think. And it makes it more likely that enemies will drop things. So basically, food, money, and weapons. Wouldn't recommend that. It takes too long. Look up a guide if you're trying to get all the weapons. In fact, it's actually a really funny exploit you can do at the industrial castle at the entrance. If you go behind the bushes at the start before the castle, there's a weapon. So let's say you have a level 99 body, like me, for example. So we'll just use me as an example. Let's say that you're trying to get all the weapons. We go to the industrial castle. I have a weapon that you don't have, so I equip it from the giant frog at the blacksmith's camp. And then we go to that map, I pick up the weapon that you're after, or I pick up the weapon that's on that map. You know, at the start, the weapon that you want drops out of my hands, you pick it up, boom, now you have it unlocked. Now if it's a DLC weapon, it'll say you unlocked it, but you won't keep it unless you actually have the DLC, so you do have to bear that in mind. And I'll be sure to point out that one when we get to it, because it is really useful for that exploit. I've done it for quite a few players. Just hit the guy snapping. But yeah, like I was saying about stat distribution, this is what I recommend you do anyway. Especially if you're just starting out. Max out agility straight away. Because once you do, it makes the rest of normal a complete and utter joke. Now from there, just unlock the magic jump. Now you get the magic jump at your last blue bar on the magic meter. And then from there, once you have enough points for that, you could start out on defense, and you should have maxed out, not maxed out magic. You should have a magic jump unlocked and max agility by level 25. And this is a little tricky you do with the boomerang. Only decimate stores, so it's kind of funny. Oh yeah, that trick I was bringing up earlier, if you jump and you press and hold the boomerang, don't let it go in the air. You can kind of glide around with it. So I'm holding it here, and as you can see, the rate is really reasonable. It's very easy for me to stop on anything I want, or I can even do it rapidly if I really need to. But yeah, that's why I have it at 400 milliseconds, just for that degree of full control of the items, because they are kind of important, especially on Insane. I say kinda. Like, it's not really that necessary, but it is nice to have. Now, a really neat little thing they added to make the single-player experience a lot easier than it already was is, let's say that you're about to die from taking far too much damage. You get really low. You will actually auto-pot now in single player. That used to be exclusive to multiplayer. And I have no idea why, but hey, they've addressed it and it's fixed, and I appreciate that. Also, those punches that the boss is like throwing out now and then, you can block those. You cannot block the fire though, so watch that. And this is also a really good early on spot if you're trying to grind money. Now, if you want my recommended fastest and best way of grinding out money, that would be the Painter boss. Towards the very end of the game. You can block those too, by the way. I just avoid them. And I know I'm also going over a lot, so any questions, comments, or concerns, I'll do my best to answer them. Should you leave them down below. Also, I'm going to get this out of the way now. If anyone is wanting to play as my character, no, it's not getting published. Sorry, not sorry. Wasn't cheap. And also, it's my OC, so... No. Mine. Did I get the compass? Okay, yeah, I did get the compass. That's what you want to do when you first come here. Is get the compass by the time. Okay, it's just called Blacksmith on the map. Interesting. Now, what I'm hoping for in the future, because I know Gearbox is waiting for this game to go on sale, where you can get the game for like $5, it'd be both hilarious and fucking awesome if he made the playable version of his own OC, Chara. That'd be badass. And then you can do like an insane mode playthrough later down the line. Oopsie. So this beefy counts as a medium weight enemy. So the medium weight juggle would work, but I don't have the fly thing unlocked yet. The XYY in midair. You know, this is annoying. I'm gonna spam with arrows. Die. Go away. Thank you. Thank you, Rick. Now, this infinite juggle I'm doing, which another reason I'm getting into why you don't want to put anything into strength, you're going to notice how quickly the bar racks up when I'm doing that on mobs. You know, as we run into more difficult enemies with higher health pools. And with Giraffe, it makes the EXP meter go up even faster, so. Only thing that kind of sucks is every 10 levels that you go up, so when I get to level 10, notice how my base damage right now is 4. It's going to increase to 5, and then 6 at level 20, and so on. All the way up until 13 base damage, without any points at all into strength. Now, as far as what other base stats increase on your character, I'm not sure. I know of strength, absolutely, and I think even to an extent, health. I think, anyway. Don't quote me on that. Maybe magic, maybe agility. I don't think so, though. And this is where you're going to find your first animal buddy. Really hard to miss. You're going to notice the musical notes. You go behind there. You pick up the owl. And anyway, where I was talking about to get the boomerang, once you get the cardinal, you want to come back here. You'll get it from this bush right here. And once you get that, you have it for every single one of your characters. Unlocked or not, which is great. Now, unfortunately, unlocking characters in this game is a very long and tedious process. I already went through it. It took forever. And what takes even longer than that is beating normal and insane and level capping every single one of them. Yes, I did do that. Took over 250 hours. Quite a while. That includes finding all the animal orbs and all the weapons. So hopefully, you know, with that tutorial that I mentioned at the beginning, hopefully that saves a few people some time if you're on the PC version. If it doesn't, I'm sorry, at least I tried. I love this game, and I was just trying to do something nice for the community. But if the game is telling you no, I don't know what to do to fix it. So I'm sorry. I tried. And you're likely gonna have to do everything, you know, manually, like I had to. Unless you want to do the boomerang glitch here on Insane, which, look that up. I don't do that personally. I do it all manually. And this is actually the best level in the game to EXP grind. The troll mother that we're going to be fighting at the end, you just do this back and forth, purposely dropping the trolls that she lets out so that she can let out more. And if you're good at this, like I am, you should never land. And you can keep going back and forth and doing that to trolls until you reach the level that you're trying to get to. Like, normally, I won't leave here until I'm level 13. But for the sake of the playthrough and getting a move on, I'm not going to do that. Now, in between parts, I may decide to come back here and level grind a little bit, but not much. Just for the levels I would have missed out on, and that's about it. Now, unfortunately, you need bombs. Starting out, you're not going to have access to them. You'll be able to go to a shop after you beat this level. You're going to want to use 3 bombs here. That's for the healing troll animal orb. Not a very good one. My money. Make sure you do that so that you don't get robbed by these things. And we're actually almost right at the boss. It's just this screen, and then we're at the troll mother. It is imperative that you learn this combo, especially for Insane. You're going to want to abuse the ever-living crap out of it. Because while you're doing this, often you're not getting hit at all. And let's see if I can get the 13 doing this. I doubt it, but I'll give it a shot. Fortunately, the troll mother's dying too quick, so probably not. Now, when you get back here on an Insane, you're going to be leveling up even more and a lot faster with the giraffe, especially. Because the trolls are going to have more HP. And you'll still be hitting for laughable damage with melee. But yeah, anyway, when you get back here on Insane, pretty much I'm doing this for like an hour and a half or so on a character I'm trying to max out. In fact, I recommend doing that, especially if you're new, because you're going to want the extra stats that come with. You get a lot of HP once you get to 99. And max out defense. At least over 1,000, I would say. Now, if you want to, after you go to the right, into the mill, you can exit the map and put in points, and then come back in the Thieves' Forest. I'm not going to do that, though. I'm just going to move on. You know what, then again, we have this stupid catfish to deal with. So I'm actually going to do that. Sorry, folks. Let's see. So I need to go up 4 more levels. Don't worry, it'll be quick. But anyway, once you get to the mill, the shop should unlock. Go ahead and buy what you don't have. The weapon, bombs if you want. And fully stock up on pots. I currently don't have bombs, so I'm going to get some. Alright, moving on. Thieves' Forest again, really quick. Now, I'm only doing this so we can plow through the cat boss when we get to it. Also, it's only 4 levels. And I'm debating whether or not to do this on Insane, you know, in between parts to cap out. I probably might do that, actually, just to be safe. Because I don't want to get my shit wrecked by the Industrial Castle and the later half of the game on Insane. Look, they hit stupid hard. You will go through pots very quickly, especially if you're not using Hawkster. And I'll show you how to get Hawkster when we get to it. You will need a specific item from the later half of the game to get him, so you will have to come back for him. You'll have to go back for a few things, in fact. So be prepared for that, and just have guides on standby, I would say. Now, I know you can get an item or a weapon out of one of these shops. I'm not going to get it, though. Was it this one? Yeah, it was that one. It's basically this. The, I forget what this is. I think it's like a mean hammer, maybe? Anyway. Not too bad of a starting weapon, not the greatest either. And really hard to miss this animal orb. You need to get your eyes checked if you miss that guy. Didn't mean to do that. Damn it, friggin' douche ate my apple. Yay, a pair. A pair of what? A pair of pears, apparently. You did such a good job on this commission. Alright, it looks like I think I have it unlocked now. Let me see. Yeah, I have it unlocked. So when you're in the air, you do light, heavy, heavy, light, heavy, heavy. Do it in a rhythm so you don't go too high or too low. But you can do this infinitely. I think there's a weapon, yep, behind there. And another one here. I think that's the Rap Sword, and this is one of the worst weapons in the game. Absolutely worthless. Get me some more gold. Get out of here. And by the way, you're going to want to farm up quite a bit of gold to buy weapons and animal orbs from shops. And they will have different weapons and different animal orbs on normal and insane. So there is that. There are also different character unlocks depending on whether or not you beat certain arenas normal or insane. So that's another thing I recommend having the guy on standby for, is character unlocks. So character unlocks, weapons, and animal orbs. Those are all your main unlockable. The other ones are like really easy to come by. You just gotta know where to get them, like the boomerang and the shovel, and that's pretty much it. Oh, screw you. Very good. Just need to level up twice more, and then we can get a move on. Trying to get away from Mother, she keeps following me. And just starting out, you're probably going to do that a lot. The light strafing combo. Very easy to do. Any beginner can do it. May have to run through here one more time. Hopefully not. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to run through here one last time. That sucks. Alright, gonna exit map so we can get that over with. Just trust me, you want to do this. So there's nothing stopping you from getting a move on and just leveling up speed as you go. Personally, I'm not going to do that. Now, here's a little movement tech that I want to go over. Notice how when I'm jumping after running and I hit the attack button, I can keep my stride going. But if I just jump, I gotta wait a bit. So, little movement tech for you. You can do that with the magic jump as well. So, keep that in mind. And it even works off your, like, your light heavy. It will not work off your light heavy, so keep those things in mind. Now, if you know what you're doing, which I don't, and I wouldn't bother with it, hold on, I'm trying to demonstrate something. That, if you know what you're doing at the right times, you can infinitely fly that way. It's definitely a bit more stylish, but it's not worth doing. So just fly normally, is what I would suggest. And this becomes a lot easier to do after you get the magic jump. Now, for some reason, without the magic jump, you have to very quickly press the heavy attack button after the light attack button after a jump. Be doing this without the magic jump. And there is an animal orb that you can get right away as soon as you get this maneuver called Sherbert. It's actually based off of Tom Fulp's actual real-life cat. He's adorable, but all he does is something really useless that you do not need. He just increases your standard jump height. You especially do not need that when you get the magic jump. So he's completely worthless. I mean, he looks cute, and that's about it. Yes, yes, that's nice. Take a shit. Thank you. And you could say this is another reason I'm going to be using the giraffe earlier than I would normally be getting him anyway. To make this part a lot faster. Rest assured, I will show you where to get Giraffe. It's somewhere in the desert you need the shovel for. No, I forget if you have the backtrack for him or not, actually. Okay, finally. Good, agility's maxed out. So some of you may be wondering why I took my time going over the controls early on and recommending a turbo. Because if not, well, you're gonna have to do all this manually. And also, what I'm doing here to strafe back slowly is I'm holding the block button, which is L2. So let's say I'm firing arrows. As long as you're holding the block button, you can stay facing the same direction. Because otherwise, you're doing this. You'll move faster with the bow and arrow. But if you want to carefully strafe and face the same direction, you need to hold up your shield. And that's why I went ahead and recommended maxing out agility. And as I said, this completely destroys and decimates every single enemy in the game on normal. So, very easy segment to do on single player. You even get an achievement for it. It's for not getting hit at all during this entire segment. Not hard. Just follow the deer and watch out for logs, pretty much. Now, if I'm going to recommend a starting character, it's going to be Blue Knight, for a couple of reasons. He's one of the best characters in the game, and he also helps you unlock the two best characters in the game. When you beat the game with Blue Knight, you get the Industrialist. And when you beat the game with the Industrialist, you get the Fencer. We'll see them both at the Industrial Castle. They have the best magic in the game, and they destroy the ever-living crap out of bosses. So they have that going for them, and do everything that any other character can do for the most part, but better. And their splash attack shields them from both the front and the back. They're ridiculous. You can guard these, by the way. When you see the bats, just keep mashing the hell out of jump around the bats. Don't let them latch on to you. Whoopsie. It's actually not a bad thing if you wind up in the water, because the bats can't latch on to you like that. And die. Now, some of you may be asking yourselves, why oh why did I waste all your time getting 4 more levels just to max out agility? That's why. Shut up. Come behind here with you see a Grey Knight fixing up the catapult. You get the wrench weapon. You're gonna have to come back here with the shovel you get from the desert later. That'll get you the lobster. And you're gonna need that horn from like the second half of the game. You'll get the horn from being the corn boss. Come back here with the horn, use it. That's how you get Hawkster. Arguably the best item orb in the entire game. So he attacks down enemies, not a whole lot of damage, but often from dead corpses, he'll bring you food. So he's an invaluable source of sustain. And I'll actually be able to show you what the medium weight chuckle looks like. Because we have an enemy coming up. It's like a mini boss, he'll be a medium weight. And he'll have Rami, which you can unlock after you defeat him. So just jump at him, do that fly combo that I taught you. And when he's doing that, fire arrows at him. Come here. And that's how you usually kill him real fast. You're going to be using that a bunch more times later on. You can use it on these guys if you want to. I'm not going to do that though. I'm just going to get him over with. And die. Thank you. Alright, more light juggling. Come on, you bastard. Really? Thank you, prick. Now, for insane mode especially, I do recommend you use Hawkster. Which you can easily grab on normal. So by the time you backtrack, you'll be prepared for that later. Until you max out with the Giraffe Beetle and Thieves Forest, you will be like really safe, especially if you're doing the endless light juggle like I'm doing. Just camp out in Thieves Forest and get some levels with Giraffe. Now, these blobs are really annoying to kill. Unless you have the bow and arrow maxed out early on normal. Then they go down really easy. And on Insane, they also go down really easy once you unlock the diving drill spin. You'll need to have your 3rd blue magic bar from your magic meter. And also be level 50 to have that unlocked, however. So that won't be for a while. And as long as you stay on the left side here, no more of these bats should be coming out at all. And you want to be doing what I do here, because on Insane, that Lick Attack does 999 damage. So that's what you're going to do for that entire fight on Insane. You're just going to block when you see his tongue come out, and pelt him with arrows. Another benefit to maxing out speed that early, you get basically all that money. You get rich very fast. So now I'm going to start on magic. And here's the industrial castle, of course. I don't have a sandwich, which you need to remove the door, and we're not going to get them until Lava World. So we have to keep going on this path. And you can get a weapon here, but you need the shield for it. So you will have to backtrack here later. And this is also a really good stage for level grinding. Is this it? I don't think this is it. Okay, down. There we go. Okay, yeah, it's the weapon I'm thinking of. Not a bad level 10 weapon, but there are better options, I think. It looks cool. And I believe you unlock these beekeepers by beating the game with the barbarian. Either that or an arena. And their magic is actually really funny. They shoot bees. These guys that we're seeing here. Alright, so that's also an achievement. You need to time that properly. Do it like just before it's about to get to full, and that's how you do it. Like you do it every time once you've done it like a couple times. It's really easy to get that achievement. And these guys have a lot of HP, so even like this early on, you can get a bunch of levels. Let that EXP meter just go up, and up, and up. I think they're all dead. There we go. Now we'll do it again. Now careful, because there's always at least, with certain enemy types, there's always going to be a bomb thrower. This is one of those enemy types. You want to focus them down first, and if they die, then a different enemy becomes the bomb thrower. If they're of that same type, if that makes any sense. And as cool as the lightsaber weapon looks, it's not very good a weapon. But you can get a guaranteed drop for it in the Cyclops Cave. And I'm just going to spam arrows here. Whoopsie, you had the shovel on. There we go. Alright, getting to move on with the castle. I need to see if I have the stun combo unlocked yet. Hold on. Okay, I have it unlocked. You're going to want to beat the ever-living hell out of that against the boss. The groom. I'll demonstrate when we get to it, because it's pretty tricky to do. Basically, what you need to do is you get him in the first unlock, then you face away from him, hit the attack button once, turn back around right away. You can hit him on the second hit, and then hit heavy. So you're going to do that one miss and land the other two hits. And how you do that combo is light attack, and then heavy attack on the ground. You especially want to do that on Insane, because the groom can easily obliterate your health with this spin attack, and he hits really hard in general too. Now, something else you can do to them, which is really funny, if you have a buddy that's also maxed out in agility, and you're both like gods at spamming arrows, then you can keep him floating off the ground while pelting him with arrows the entire time until he dies. I have done it before with a friend. A few times. See what I mean by the bomb thrower? Yeah, watch out for that. And dead. Good. Last wave, and then we get the boss. I wasn't quick enough there on the first attack after the jump. That's why I kind of lulled there after I landed. Alright, they should be done now. Alright, now I'll try and demonstrate what I was talking about. Whoopsie. That's why, because that counterattack. That's why you need to do it properly. Otherwise that happens. It's really tricky to do it consistently. Fuck you. Whoopsie. Okay. Good. Yeah, don't be too distraught if you can't get it too consistently at first. It is really tricky. I actually just learned about it recently, so been trying to practice it more. Really, dude? Might be better to, like, get him by the wall like I'm doing here. That way it's not as easy to, like, run away from him too far, and then you, screw yourself on range. That's why I was talking so slow, I was trying to focus. So I'm gonna get him over here by the wall again. Get this the hell over with. Yeah, I know, you throw bombs, come on. Dude, really? Rick? Nope. Okay. Nope. Asshole. Dude, really? Fuck you. I think you can heavyweight juggle in too. I wouldn't recommend it though. Like, I've been playing this for quite some time and I'm kind of good at it. I'm not the most consistent at it. Also, this is technically a checkpoint, so if you want a cheesy free heal, just exit the map. There you go. And now I don't waste a pot. Now, something you do have to keep in mind, too, is game doesn't auto-save until you reach certain checkpoints. And this is not one of them, so I would recommend looking those up. Especially if you're on, like, limited play sessions. Because otherwise you won't do certain levels all over again. Also, here's something I learned about recently as well. If you hold up while you're throwing somebody, you'll throw them up a lot higher, like that. Alright, now we're just gonna do the infinite juggle on him and then fly back safely. Stay between his eyes. They should never hit you, the thieves. Just like that. Go away. And then peck at the right time by you press A when you get hit like that, you get set, you know, hurl up in the air and then you land on the ground. Hit A at the right time, you'll attack like I just did. That's really, really important for a boss way later on in the game. Right before the final boss, actually. Anyway, this is the heavyweight juggler. You started with 2 heavies. Like I said, I'm kind of good at it. I'm not the best at it. It's really easy to fuck up. This is the hardest juggle in the game to do. There's kind of a rhythm to it you have to get. But anyway, now that those guys are dead. Die, thank you. Excuse me? Thank you. Now, hold the hell out of right so you can get all that gold. Mine. And now that's a bunch of free more EXP for you. Friggin' thieves. No, you don't. Mine. Mine. No. Okay. Couple more heavyweight cone heads. It's really weird. They fluctuate between light and heavyweights. You have to know which ones are which. I don't get why they did it like that. Very inconsistent. And slimes. Dude, really? Alright, there we go. Now I can murder them. Dude, get out of here. Thank you. Thank you. You prick. Look at all the molted cheese. I know, it's lava. It looks like cheese. Only lightweight cone head on this entire level. Seriously strange. Alright, there's the bomb throw. I'm gonna focus him first. Oopsie. Oopsie. You're gonna see me fuck this up a bunch throughout the playthrough. Oopsie. Again. Seriously hard to do that juggle. Oh, you're the bomb thrower. Come here, you prick. Fuck you. Very nice. That was pretty good. Alright, you see this cracked wall here? I'm here 3 times to get the best animal orb in the entire game, Snoot. He's the elephant guy that you saw in the animal pen earlier. The most DPS that you get in this game is from melee. He increases your strength by 4. He's amazing. Make sure you get Snoot. Now, starting out, I would not recommend using him so much. Use Hawkster. If anything, absolutely use Hawkster in like the second half of the game. I'm saying because I'm telling you, they shred through your health. Like the stove faces, the freaking Thankies, the Saracens, the chain faces, they hit ridiculously hard. And the brutes especially. The brutes are assholes. In fact, that's what you want to be using the tech for that reason. The beekeeper you have to deal with during the Necromancer boss fight. Now here we have another not lightweight, medium weight enemy. Same thing as before, medium weight juggle. So jump at him, light, heavy, heavy, and then light, heavy, heavy, light, heavy, heavy, light, heavy, heavy, repeat. Or you can even do light, heavy, heavy only from the start. Oh, you prick. Get away from me. Now, he's not your traditional heavyweight. He's way too heavy. So I recommend just kiting his ass and pelting him with arrows. This is where you get the guaranteed saber drop, by the way. You know what I mean? Not a good weapon. You don't want a magic element to your weapon, because if you're juggling enemies, if it procs, they'll fall out of your juggle. So that's why that sucks. And also, only 2 agility? Yeah, not good. Now, there's a trick you can do to fuck with his AI. If you, like, kind of hang around here, you can easily take him out. That way, he'll just, like, hop back and forth. You can do that if you want. I don't do that. Terminator 2 reference. Give me that. Now, if you're doing this with buddies, you're about to ruin your friendship with another fight here. Alright, more magic. Only 4 more levels. Yep, 4 more levels and that'll be done. This is where you get sandwiches. I'm just gonna buy some now. This is where you can also get one of the best weapons in the game, especially for level 10. This is a really good weapon. In fact, you can even use this for Insane if you want. It's not a terrible one. And also, you can get the Spiny here. He increases your defense by 4. I already have him, so I can't get him. So more demons, meaning my juggle again. You can end off with like your R2 and triangle for your diagonal magic throw for a bit more damage, which I'm gonna do just so we can get a move on. Like if I was being really greedy for EXP, I would just be doing melee the whole time only. But I don't even do that, you know, regularly here. I like to just get a move on. Because the EXP gain here is not the quickest. But it is a very long level. So make sure you come prepared and bring pots. I want to say it's the longest level in the game. And this is where you can farm sandwiches for free. I forgot to get more. Whoopsie. Yes, I'm actually doing this. It won't take that long anyway. Oopsie. All right, one more. All right, good. No, I got 9 again. God, he did such a good job. Even in like the butt body. Looks so good. Now, if you want to, you can destroy what were once innocent villagers that died. Free food and free money. You monster. I say as I'm breaking open every single one of them. I'm such a hypocrite. Yay, fries. More money. This should be an apple. It's like I played this game before. Millions and millions of times. And here we have our first instance of Skeleton Crew. We'll have to deal with another one later. And then the one after that, there's gonna be like 4 small ones, 4 buff ones. It's kind of a pain in the ass on its own, if you know what screen I'm talking about. We'll see that later in the marsh. And die. 2 more levels and I get magic jump. Really want that. Should hopefully have it by the end of the level. If not, oh well, I'll get it on the ship that'll take us to the second half of the game. As long as I have agility max to get my magic jump, I'm pretty good. These all used to be trees here, believe it or not. Screw you. Some people recommend that you back into defense if you're just starting, and even like strength. But as long as you know what you're doing, you can still get plenty of levels, and you should hardly get touched at all with proper juggling. So just make sure you're practicing that. You should be good. Just that exactly the way I am here. Should you decide to do that, you don't have to. It's just what I personally recommend for like optimization, really, to get to max level as soon as possible and have a really easy time getting through normal. Now when these guys died, they will drop sandwiches. So now I'm back at 9. Awesome. Got an apple here, and then meat. I'm not gonna get to 25. Oh well. I'm gonna have to wait. Nope. I'm just gonna do this. Nope. Done. Max out strength first. What are you, my mother? You can exit the map from here. You're safe. Now the shop's unlocked. Oh, it already was. Never mind, I was already here. Anyway, that's done. Now we can go here. Now we have the telescope. Oh wait, no, wait. We're actually missing something. The telescope. You need the compass, the steering wheel, and a telescope. So we have to go to the industrial castle next. Anyway, that what I was going over earlier. If you want to give a friend all the weapons, you come here with the weapon that they're missing. You pick this up. Your buddy picks this up. And there you go, they have the weapon. But yeah, this is it. Be prepared to do a lot of light juggling in this level. Should absolutely get magic jump. I usually like to have it for the fight, but it's probably not going to happen. I'll see how far I get before I decide. It's not that long a level. No. Screw off. Now you can either block while holding forward, you can just jump over. You can time this or use a beefy sandwich and just run straight through, but you will take a lot of damage as a result. God, this sword looks so badass. I love how Gear drew it. And needless to say, my OC is my new main in this game. Also, for those of you just finding out about the spelling change, well, that's because a bunch of idiots keep calling her Rhine. It's Rain, for fuck's sake. Anyway. I know most of you got it, but you'd be surprised how many you don't. So I said, fuck it, went with the traditional spelling. Good, now I'll have magic jump after this level. Okay, very good. Now here's a little exploit that I learned about recently that you can do here with the BP brew. Come up here. And he should never grab you. You'll especially clobber him when you have maxed out stats and are at 99 on Insane. And you can even do a similar trick to this on the full moon level against the beefy stove-face enemies. I'm just mashing heavy attack here, that's all I'm doing. You can even use your magic there easily. Oh, that's a bit more risky. And this is where you get the Cardinal, by the way. From being the beefy brute. And you're going to want to go back to that Thief's Force level so you can get the boomerang with this fellow. Oopsie. No, you shouldn't max agility first because it doesn't do the most DP. Shut up. A normal? It doesn't fucking matter. Especially a normal doesn't fucking matter. Look what I just did here. But whatever, you shouldn't max agility first. Finally, magic jump. Awesome, I'm gonna get one more sandwich and then we'll start with the second half of the game. Very good, exit the map. And I'm just gonna stick with this weapon, probably for the whole playthrough. It doesn't add any strength, and you can't lower your base strength anyway. Even with minus strength weapons, I've tried. So, no point. Even though it doesn't really decrease it by a whole lot. Don't judge. Okay. Next group of ninjas. After these bombs here. Oh, lucky weapon drop. Now, this is where you get the shovel. I forget where you get the giraffe. Okay, that's an apple. Fuck you. This is another thing I like to max out agility for. Screw these guys. Get a weapon there. Oopsie. Boot. Does absolutely nothing. That's the giraffe. Nope. Okay. Oh, right. This is the double. Go to the right first, take care of him, come back around. Goodbye, prick. Another boot. Fuck, these guys are insane. They do way too much. Very good place to abuse that flying trick. Can't even touch you. Oopsie. That's how fast you can take him out on normal. Alright, money. Whoopsie, wrong button. Fuck. Wrong item, too. Die. Thank you. You can block, too. I'll get another sandwich later. Is this the giraffe? I want to say this is. Nope. You might not be able to get it if you already have the giraffe. It might just be another boot. But just keep digging at axes. You will find them. And don't worry too much about the scorpions. They're one-hit kill. Alright, heavyweights again. These are the chain faces I was referring to. They hit really hard on Insane. Oopsie. And they have bomb throwers, so... Careful. Good. Fuck you. Whoop. Okay. See that I missed any X's. Nope. Oh, there's one. I think this is actually where you get the giraffe. I think. Never mind. There, where's the giraffe? Come here. Oh wait, no, bomb thrower. Fuck you. Asshole. Dude, really? Come on. I hate you so much. Why is the juggle so hard to do? Die, piece of shit. Money. I swear it's in this level. Okay, this is where you find the giraffe. It's in front of the volcano. Now I know. See? Not the volcano, the pyramid. Stupid me. Nope. Oopsie. Good. All right. Dude, really? No. Bye, prick. Oopsie. Was trying to do a trick that I discovered recently. After he gets one of those things, you can keep him like against the right if you catch him at the right time. You just keep him trapped there until he dies. The ship. And I like to think the aliens die in one hit is an homage to Hominid because, just like here, they die in one hit. Damn it, I almost caught him. Damn it. Missed him again. Oh well. They're not hard to begin with. I just like trapping them. Alright, wait. And now we'll come back. And this is where I start putting points in the defense. Yes, I'm that adamant about getting another sandwich. Oopsie. Wrong button. Right after the alien ship. If you go left here, you can see a bunch of the development team. Pretty funny. Pretty sure this guy here is Tom Volpe. The little squirrel thing is one of your captive buddies in Alien Hominid. They help you out. You don't have to do this. They die in one hit. You can just keep doing the helicopter spin over and over if you want. I'm just doing it to show off. Also, it's really satisfying hearing that slam noise and shaking the screen when you get them all like this. And this douchebag is the final boss from Alien Hominid. Fucking prick, give me so much shit. Come back here for an animal orb. One of the worst in the game. Let's fly over all these. All right, the Saracens. More light juggling, pretty much. Or as I like to call them, free XP. But hopefully by now you can see why it's so damn important to learn these juggling maneuvers. Notice how I haven't had to use a potion a single time. Partially because I've used checkpoints early on. You can do that too. Alright, good. He's down. Now I can just light juggle. Oh, you prick. You do that too fast or too slow, you'll fuck it up, so careful. Let's get a good rhythm going. And that's what happens if you, like, go too soon. Now, if you want that zebra animal orb, you're gonna have to kill this guy. That's a weapon right there. I need to check. Yep, weapon. Oh, it's the sausage. Forget what's in here. Is it a boot? Nope, weapon again. You can get another one on the castle rooftop. That's the boot. Okay. Now, if you want to, you can bomb this wall for a couple of reasons. One, to get Scratch Paw, and two, to abuse the safe background and just funnel these guys into you. Okay, Dad. And you can easily practice the infinite life juggle to this level's music, as you just saw. So if you're looking to practice it, come here. And as you may notice with the beefy enemies, 4 hits and they fall down. Every time. Except in the case of the heavy attack, as you saw in the beefy brew. That's the exception. Rick? Nope, stop that. Ouch. Oh, you know. Oh, come here. Come here. Fuck you, dude. Annoying asshole. I think this is a weapon here. Yep. Not a bad one either. Yeah, that's a really good weapon. The curved sword. I'm just in the spam arrows here. You know, never mind. Never mind. Come here. Actually, no. This is good from this side. Dude, you freaking prick! Come here. Nope. Fine. fine. I'm gonna magic spam you. How do you like it? Alright, good. Time for some beach volleyball with no beach. Use the helicopter spin and magic jump. Careful not to get hit in the process. You can die. It's bullshit. No. That's how easy it is to do. Alright, I'm actually gonna go ahead and call it there. So come back next part, and we'll continue with the rest of normal. I'll probably get to Thieves Forest on Insane and do a bunch of level grinding between next and then the last part. Probably only going to be 3 parts long, but anyway. Gonna get some rest here. Peace out. See you next time.